I met Veronica Ash, Veronica Taylor, sorry, the very first Ash.
Veronica Ash. What a nice piece of ash.
Well, the second
I had to
voice
say it.
actor, she's younger.
Oh, wait, not
The
like...
original one is an older lady.
Really?
Yeah.
But she's the longer running, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready? Oops.
You guys do your thing.
We are starting this. It's a tad early here. Okay. So for you guys, welcome to the 4th season of the Murphy Street Collector. We'll be doing that in just a second. I got like about 10 more seconds of roll before we actually start. So thank you for joining us in advance. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Murphy Street Podcast. I'm the host of the show, Murphy. Joining me today for the first time in a long time, my guy Bronson.
How's it going?
And guys, yeah, nice to be back. Absolutely. And guys, everybody knows hey, how's it going, everybody? Everybody knows the rules of Murphy Street. Simple, always the same, even in 2023. That is, shoes and slippers at the door, come inside, and let's talk story. Guys, it's been a while. Bronson, what have you been up to? You know, we like to catch up before we get going.
Other than work, I mean, not really much. I mean, I'm trying to like lay low on the collecting
side
part of 2023. I would say. I mean, I did pick up a few things here and there, but not really heavily on the collecting side.
What is one of the few things? Just name us one thing of the few things that you picked up.
Well, this past week, I didn't pick it up, but this past weekend was the Kikaido farewell thing, and I didn't get to go. I had to work, but I don't know if I should show it now.
Yeah, why not? Let's bring it out.
Yeah, we'll cut to the chase here. But anyways, I wasn't able to go, but I did want to get a few of my things signed.
I didn't realize it was that big, man. That is dope.
But this is the anime version of Jiro. Marissa from work got to sign it for me, so she was nice enough to go out and get it signed for me.
Love this. This is so dope. So there it is, Bandaisuke, right?
Yeah,
Bandaisuke, yeah, his signature there on the farewell event of the Kikaido. So
it's kind of hard to believe it's his last and final appearance, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But before we go much further, guys, you guys see that we are surrounded by the Funko Pops. You know what that means. You know where we are. We are in From the Heart Hawaii with our guy Ken, the Godfather. Ken, tell everybody what's up.
How's it going?
And that is about as much talking as you will get from Ken. But you guys, first of all, we want to say Happy New Year. It is 2023. This is going to be our first episode, and I do still owe a review from Andor, the finale. Did you watch?
I have not watched it. I only watched the first episode.
Okay, well, Andor was a really good hit, and I really dig it, and I'll give that probably the next episode. That, and also I'll catch us up on the Bad Batch next episode. Actually, that was going to be today's episode until they dropped that new trailer for the Mandalorian season 3. Did you watch it?
Yes, I did.
Ken, did you watch the trailer?
Not yet.
All right, of course. Nobody expected him to have watched it. But that's what I wanted to talk about today, because you know what? Like, let's be honest. That trailer was fire. What did you think of the trailer? Before we get into the nitty gritty, I'm going to kind of go scene by scene like we always do, but what did you think of the trailer?
It was great. I mean, I can't wait till, what do we have, like a month more?
Yeah, March 1st. March 1st.
Yeah,
March 1st.
So, I mean, they did show a lot, but not as much as I was anticipating.
They showed enough to make it tantalizing. Yeah. Like, you really can't wait. Because I will say this. I thought it was so dope that we saw so many Mandalorians right out the gate. And I was like,
different varieties of Mandalorians too, you know?
Yeah, and so that's one of the things without question. We get to see Grogu actually uses some Force powers, so he's been honing that. And a couple faces that should be familiar, and if you are not like a regular or a hardcore fan, you might not have known who they were, and maybe some faces and landmarks in the back that may have gone missing. Now, I will preface by saying this. I'm a big fan of New Rockstars on YouTube. Like, they do a lot of deep dives when it comes to giving you backstories and Easter eggs on what you see. So I'm a huge fan of Eric Voss at New Rockstars. So a lot of what I have to say here was either confirmed or they may have touched on with New Rockstars. But I will say this. I got a couple things that they did not see. I may be wrong. I might just be like reaching, but also I don't think I am. Especially on one. So anyway, let's dig in. So as soon as we jump out, we see a bunch of the different Mandalorians. And my personal thing, my note that I say here is I dig the different color Mandalorian helmets and visors, and I'm certain that I saw Bo-Katan. Of course, this was confirmed later by new rock stars. But guys, also, of those new visors, the ones that look kind of like Bo-Katan style, we saw some white ones.
Yeah, white ones, yeah.
And so I believe that's the Order of the Night Owls, who, of course, is another sect of the Mandalorians. There's a lot that's happening in here. Like, there was so much in that little minute and some change that it was really hard to kind of draw a line of logic as to why we are seeing so much.
Right.
But again, New Rockstars had a really cool couple theories, and I think I'll go over it in just a little bit. But what we have to believe is happening is at the end of season 2, Din ends up with the Darksaber, which he tries to give to Bo-Katan,
Right.
but she knows that she can't take it because you have to best the person in battle.
Right.
Which, so Din got it the correct way, and now he's stuck with it. And now, so basically, they're going to now try and bring together the race of Mandalorians, wherever they are, scattered amongst the galaxy as they are. And that's what we're looking at here. Now, I will say I absolutely dug the opening lines. I love them so much. It was Din Djarin saying, "Our people are scattered like stars in the galaxy," which is what I took for the title of today's show, by the way. Like stars in the galaxy.
In his typical monotone voice.
Yeah, exactly. What are we? What do we stand for? So really dope. I love the simplicity of the lines, you know, and there's so much gravity to it, considering like there's so little that they actually say, but so much into it. And so again, it just implies that the Mandalorian race is scattered. And so when he says that, you have to believe that what he's going to try and do now is try and bring everybody back together. Now, I love the other lines too, and I didn't like verbatim write it down, but it was basically where he talks to, I believe he's talking to Grogu, where he talks about one of the purposes of being a Mandalorian is to know your way around the galaxy so that you'll never be lost, which is such a cute sentiment, right?
Yeah.
But also makes you kind of feel like, okay, well, where's your home, right? Because we know that Mandalore was destroyed in the Night of 1,000 Tears or the Great Purge, whichever one you want to call it. So where's the home for them now?
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, and so this is, I think, part of what we're going to be seeing here in season 3 is now establishing that identity for the Mandalorians. When he lands in Navarro, first of all, did you know it was Navarro?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so when he lands on Navarro, of course, this is the place that Grief Karga now owns. We see the marketplace. I love the white protocol droid on the left. Like, as soon as you come in, you'll see it.
As soon left-hand corner.
Yeah, you saw it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really dug that, because I think we see a droid just like that on Hoth at one point in time too, right?
What is it, K3PO or something? Or?
Yeah, I think it was K3PO, yeah. And it was an absolute white one. I'm a huge fan of the white movement that's going on. I got the white Magneto, I got the white Panther, I got the white Darth Vader. What else did they do in white that was like... Oh, white Doctor Doom, God Doom. Yeah, so I love this new white movement.
Proto-Fett.
Yeah, Proto-Fett. Yeah. Actually, he might have been the one that started the whole movement.
Yeah.
Huh? So I definitely hope that we get a white K3PO Black Series figure, even if it's a Comic-Con exclusive. I will go and check.
Even if it's a repaint of C3PO.
Yeah, I'll take it. Actually, I will take it after they do like a chrome C3PO Black Series. Right. Please, come on, let's do him right. Like, he's an OG. He deserves the chrome. And of course, I also love the Kovakian monkey, the monkey lizard, like the guy that we have over here. You see him over here up in the corner.
Oh, wow, we got some special effects going on.
Yeah, you see that?
Practical.
We're not above puppeteering here. No, we are not.
I didn't even notice
he
that
did
was there.
Look, what do you got to say about that? See, he's laughing at you, Bronson, for not noticing him. But yes, I love the monkey lizards. We brought one on the show just for everybody to see. Hey, you know, as a matter of fact, let's.
I thought it was pretty funny how they introduced him in Mandalorian, grilling on the
spigot. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
it's hilarious.
See, we brought one. We got one on the show.
Straight from Batu.
Straight from Batu. It feels so weird to be saying Batu in Khalid. But anyway, we come across Grief Karga, and he is looking good in his new digs. Like, did you see what he was actually like? Did you take in? Yeah.
Yes,
with all his
I still wouldn't buy that figure.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I did not get
I don't think I have Grief Karga.
No, do I have? You know what? I don't think I have Grief Karga.
I don't
You're right. So I do need to get Grief Karga just as on a completionist, from a completionist standpoint. I do need to. I will not get the credit collection one though. I absolutely refuse. Yeah, because it just looks ridiculous to me. But now, if they put out like this Grief Karga, because he has like the like
very elegant and regal.
Yeah, no, and without question,
Yeah.
good. That's a great one because it looks very like almost modern, or not modern, but almost olden day England with the big shoulders and the red with the adornments. I was like, okay, I see you. Like
very British looking.
Yeah, so it was really odd to see him, but life must be good for him. And again, Navarro looks like it's thriving.
Who was that next to him? That's what I want to know.
What, the gold protocol droid?
Was that C-3PO?
No, I don't believe so, because if you look good, I couldn't make out a face. A little different,
yeah.
I couldn't make out a face.
I had to like rewind it a few times. Like, is it him? But it was kind of blurry. You couldn't really see it.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's a good question, because I kept looking at it like, I don't think there's a face on this droid. But it's good that you asked that, because if you look over his other shoulder, and this is one that I think that Eric Vossem at the New Rockstars may have missed, it looks like our friend Mark Shays, the Major Domo. Remember him from Book of Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just here speaking on behalf of my boss. Yeah. Like that guy. I swear I saw him off to the left with his notepad in hand. I could be mistaken again. Like I said, New Rockstars don't normally miss a lot, but I swear that was him off to the left. Take a look. There's like 3 Twi'leks, and I believe he is in there. And if so, I actually dug that character from the Book of Boba Fett. So it'd be cool to see if he's twisted into that storyline somehow.
Maybe intertwine both the Book of Boba Fett
and Mandalorian. Right then and there. So that would be cool. Now, again, speaking of New Rockstars, they pointed out an IG-11 statue that's sitting in the square at Navarro that I would have missed, but is super dope because that's one of my favorite characters from the series. He obviously died in season 1, and then they kind of brought him back, right, in season 2.
I noticed there was a lot of droid Easter eggs in this trailer.
Many droids, yes, and we'll go over that as well. But did you see the statue in Navarro?
No.
There's an IG-11 statue, and as a matter of fact, when they kind of close up on the Mandalorian and Grief Karga shaking hands, they actually, you can see the foot of that statue where IG-11's foot is actually on a stormtrooper helmet. But earlier on in the scene, or actually not earlier on, earlier on in the scene, you see it, and it's an actual full statue of IG-11 over a rubble of stormtrooper helmets. It's pretty dope. So you gotta go back and look at it. Yeah, you gotta go back and look for that because it's pretty dope. Din tells the armorer in the next scene that he's going back to Mandalore to be forgiven for his transgressions, and this is something that I didn't realize what I was looking at until I went back and actually like listened to the words and figured out where he'd be going. And we see a destroyed old like dome looking area that could have been from the Great Purge or the Night of a Thousand Tears on Sonari. And so that was, remember when they showed it, like it was this huge dome and they just were dropping like all these bombs on it, right? And so that's what I believe it was, because all you see is like the inner carcass of this place. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So we get to see that, and I'm assuming that we'll get to actually venture off inside there, because somewhere down there is the waters that he needs to go and cleanse himself and ask for forgiveness in. Remember the armorer said. So that's where Din's going, and I can't help but feel like that's exactly where we're going to be heading. For me, I never thought I'd say this, especially from the moment that I first saw her. I was kind of like, why is this lady even in here? But I'm digging Peli Motto's role more and more in here.
Oh.
And again, this was just a trailer. We got just but like a snippet of her. But she's just waving Din off, and she's like, man, the force be with you. And I really dig that. And I feel like that for me, just that little moment really seems to build her character a little more for me. Right? Like that was such a great moment for Peli Motto. Now, we see Dr. Pershing, Bronson. Do you know who Dr. Pershing is?
Was that the guy in the first season? That was.
He was in season 2.
The
audience, the suspense. Do you know who Dr. Pershing is?
I can't recall.
Okay.
The only doctor I know is the one that was working on Grogu.
Okay. Oh yes. So wait, you talking about when we went into the cloning facility?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's Dr. Pershing. So good job. Yes, Dr. Pershing is the guy who actually revealed for us the plot that there was a cloning thing happening. Right, like, oh, we didn't get enough of the sample, and that was him. So we see him flying through Coruscant with he's got the trademark glasses, right? He's got that whole look going on. So we see
it was Coruscant, yeah?
Yeah, it was Coruscant. Well, at least that's what I assumed it was. Yeah, that's what you assumed it was. And again, I believe this is what the new Rockstars...
That highway in the sky.
That we've seen where Anakin and Obi-Wan was in a high-speed chase. 2. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. So that we see... So Dr. Pershing was from the end of season 2, and he's in Coruscant. In a Coruscant looking setting, but again, new Rockstars believe it is. Bronson and I do, so that's what we're going to say it is. But so what that tells me is that we're going to get more of the cloning storyline, and I'm super happy about that, because when they dropped that on us, I was like, wait, what?
I mean, it'll make sense too because it'll tie in with the Bad Batch and the cloning.
Which the Bad Batch is going on right now. Season 2 is happening right now.
Which I haven't watched either.
Of course. But I will say this. The first episode of this Bad Batch was much better than the first episode of the last one. So it's worth watching. At least the first episode. All right. And so let's see here. Now, then next we get to see Mr. Kim from Kim's Convenience. But his name is actually Captain Carson Teva. And he seems to be in a little more of an exalted role. And I say that because, one, he's not in his normal space jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Right? And then on top of that, the way he's just speaking to Din is just really different. But he tells Din that there's some greater threat in the universe that he might be too late to stop. And what could that greater threat be?
You know, this is post Return of the Jedi, so
right.
I'm assuming it probably has to do with either the rise of the First Order, maybe. You know, the beginnings of the First Order. Perhaps it could be somewhere tied in with Snoke. You know, and it's cloning with that. I don't know.
It's awesome that you say that because I believe it's the rise of the First Order as well.
You think so?
Yeah. That's what I truly believe. I think it's that. So it's great that you say that because I do think that. Let's see, where are we at? So after you see Dr. Kim, we see yet another look inside from the temple. A Grogu flashback. Right, the Jedi Temple when they're being attacked. Now, here is where I'm going to borrow some from. Hey, what's up, Gavin? Happy New Year, brother. Here's where I'm going to borrow some from the new Rockstars, but we're in the Jedi Temple. We're assuming this is a Grogu flashback because it looks almost exactly the same as the one that we saw in the.
I feel like there were more Jedi in this scene.
Yeah, well, this scene had 4, I think. There were 4 different Jedi. None that I could identify, even by their lightsaber hilts. None that I could identify as anything. But let's see here. So I love how we see the intersections of the Obi-Wan storyline as well as the Mandalorian because again, Obi-Wan's
flashback too.
Right, I was gonna say Obi-Wan. We see Reva, right, and so it would be so dope if we see like little Reva running across the room or something like that, right? So that'd be cool. But according to Eric Voss at New Rockstars, we're seeing some cutting through the doors of the temple. And now I want you to listen to this part, B. And he feels that this may be a misdirection because if we see someone cutting through the door, what are we assuming that is?
The Darksaber.
Or Anakin's lightsaber,
true.
Right? Coming for the rest of the Jedi. And he's saying that they believe it won't be Anakin coming to slaughter all the Jedi, but instead, it will be the person who ends up getting Grogu to safety. And now here's the other thing that I wanted to share with you from New Rockstars, Bronson. They believe that it would be, who do you think they're going to say?
Luke again?
No, it's not Luke. It's not Luke. No, not Ahsoka. So the popular theory, if you remember from last season, or like in between that, like Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian season 2, like when we see Grogu in the flashback, the popular theory was Mace Windu. Remember? A lot of people were like, Mace Windu saved Grogu, blah, or duh. Eric Voss and the New Rockstars came up with a theory that they believe it's Quinlan Voss. And yet again, another tie-in from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, because remember, we see Quinlan Voss's name in that like trail of people who went. Yeah. So Quinlan Voss.
When he went to that place with all the, that Jedi place.
Yeah, with the kind of like the Jedi Underground Railroad.
Right.
Yes. And so, and again, I've been holding on to hope that we would see a Quinlan Voss, and actually, I think, I remember I was hoping that it would have been Ice Cube's son. That would have been Quinlan Voss, because that would have been a dope look, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
So if they do bring a Quinlan Voss, I'm very interested to see who they would cast for that. But also, New Rockstars has like a sub theory that it might have been from the time before Order 66, when Tar Vizsla and the Mandalorians actually stole back the Darksaber, or stole the Darksaber, or reclaimed the Darksaber from the Jedi, because remember, we were told that story by the Armorer, right?
Right.
And so for me, whether it's Quinlan Voss or the Mandalorians coming through for the Darksaber, either one of those storylines sound like they rock.
Yeah.
Right? Which one of those two would you rather see, Dobie?
They both sound
dope, right?
dope.
Yeah, because honestly, I'd love to see like the Mandalorians all going at it. Probably all of them getting slaughtered. Dun, dun, dun. Look, he's back with his comment, I tell you. But it would be dope to see like that giant like rumble between the Jedi and the Mandalorians, and somehow one Mandalorian like escapes with the Darksaber. So I would love to see that, but also I would dig seeing Quinlan Vos, because that is now one of the few characters that we would see brought out of the comic books and brought into live action. Would be dope. All right. I dig the shot of the TIE interceptors chasing down who I assume is Din Djarin. Later was confirmed by the new Rockstars. But here's the question, Bronson. What is the ship that Din Djarin is flying as he's escaping those TIE interceptors?
Is it his refurbished?
No, it's not. It's not the Naboo
Starfighter.
Starfighter. Yeah, it's a different one. It's and I don't expect you to get this because this was only in Clone Wars, but it was the Mandalorian Gauntlet Starfighter. I wouldn't have got that either, so don't feel so bad. But that's why it's actually a really cool looking ship, and that they brought it to live action is such a dope addition. And here we go. Your Easter eggs, Bronson. We go into the cantina. We see the cantina denizens, and who do we see hanging out to the left?
We see the droids.
The B-1 battle droids. Like, how are these guys still around? Like, didn't they?
Two of them, right?
Yeah, they're just hanging out. I don't know, having like a zap of some current. I don't know.
Weren't they all like
some Vote 45? I thought so. Yeah. With
if I recall,
by the Gungan army, right? Like that's how it ends. Yeah. So apparently they weren't all deactivated, or some were, like you said, refurbished.
Well, unless they were repurposed, like what are those
like
little
protocol droids?
Well, you know how in what was it, The Last Jedi or the Rise of Skywalker, the small little alien guy that fixed C-3PO, Babu Frick.
Yeah,
they had two of them. Right?
Yeah, and so those are the Anzellans, and we'll get to them in a minute. Yeah.
So
you're right.
They could have like modified them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There we go.
Theory, so
you see, new rock stars, we keeping up over here. That's what we got. You're right. We got some Anzellans, and that is why we got some B-1 battle droids hanging out.
And you know what I do appreciate though is how Filoni they're tying in the prequels and the sequels and the originals.
Yeah.
You know, they're
there's no prejudice.
Together,
no prejudice whatsoever. Whatever makes the best show, the most like robust storyline, that is what we're employing.
And I think it's just to cater to fans of both the prequel originals and the trilogy. You know, because there's a fan base that's happening now with like kids, right? They want to see these reoccurring characters that they grew up on, and then we want to see our characters, and you know, but I like what they're doing.
I do. I agree with you completely.
Maybe it's also to like, you know, I'm pretty sure like in the whole fan base, Star Wars general fan base, it's like, oh, they don't show too many of the prequel stuff, or they don't show too many of this. So I think they're doing a great job threading everything together.
Yeah,
you know? making all fan bases.
That's
satisfied.
a very good point. We are Star Warsing. Hey, Doc Ray, how's it going? They are Star Warsing to a point of amazing inclusivity, without question. There's no timeline that cannot say there's something in there for them. All right, so we're moving out of there. Oh, and also I got another Easter egg that the new rock stars might have missed. All right. So of course we see the B-1 battle droids. They're front and center. It's super easy. But if you look at the back of the bar, and you have to wait for it to like tilt its head, rotate its head towards the camera, but there is a face that I swear I've seen only in the original trilogy, and it's one of those weird droids. And I think they had it as like, you know, remember when droids had like a Build-A-Droid in the 3.75 series? They had the Build-A-Droid. I swear it was one of those Build-A-Figure droids, but it has a very distinct face. And so when you see it, go back and watch it behind the bar. You'll see it like turn its head, and I can't remember the name of that droid. I feel so bad about that. But again, if you're an Easter egg hunter, I'll let you go ahead and find that person, and you should see it. So, okay. Kind of wrapping it up towards the end, we see a great group shot of a bunch of Mandalorians, probably Death Watch, just judging by their color, being launched out of the ship. They kind of like just drop down and do like their whole like Navy SEALs thing. Yeah, it's good to see you too, Doc Ray. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're at work, or if you're at home, I hope you're enjoying it. But here's the crazy thing. We see that same town square in Navarro, and Paz Vizsla is letting off with the heavy gun. Yeah. Letting off. Like he's stomping over everything. And also to notice in the back, that IG-11 statue is destroyed. Oh. Like there's still like that little rubble mound of the helmets, but it's just like two iron pegs where it used to be the full statue. So you got to go back and check that out, because that tells you that something just went down in the city, and something major. So definitely something you want to check out. But here's the thing, like now that we see one, that the Mandalorian is shaking hands with Grief Karga in Navarro, and then we see at the end, we see Paz Vizsla just like letting off in Navarro. right? I'm glad you're watching from work, but don't get in trouble. But we see Paz Vizsla like just letting off in Navarro. That has to suggest that there's going to be some kind of rift between Din's faction of Mandalorians and Paz's faction of Mandalorians, which they already started to suggest. Was that in Book of Boba Fett or that was Book of Boba Fett, right?
It was the Book of Boba Fett,
right? When he goes
the Mandalorian episode.
Yeah, the part of the Mandalorian 2.5 episodes. Yeah, but he basically we get that implication that there's already a rift between the two of those guys in that. So definitely very, very interested to see how that plays out. And again, talking about the Anzellans, Babu Frick, we see like a Babu Frick and another little Fricka. I don't know, like we see some Fricks. That's all I know. But those guys are called the Frick species. Yeah, no, they're called Anzellans. So we'll say we see two Anzellan guys, because if we say Frickas, I don't know, somebody in Hawaii might get offended and I might lose one listener. And I apologize. Don't go. We got other stuff coming up. But again, and in the last scene, it was so fire because what happens is we see this creature, unidentified, jump into the mouth of the cave, like right there. So it's blocking the entrance.
It's like a white, like wolf monkey looking.
Yeah, it's like that Muftak and Kabe guy, and I never really knew. I just knew the set. It was like a little mail-away set of Muftak and Kabe, which was a big white guy with a little snoot and like 4 eyes. And then Kabe, I think, was the little guy with the red outfit. But anyway, this guy, the big guy, jumps in front of the cave entrance, and all we see is him get like thrown back by some invisible force. He drops this amazing looking like jade hammer or something. Like, you saw that, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, what the heck is that? And then we see Grogu just like strolling out with his force hand up, like, come on, son.
Nonchalant.
Yeah, exactly. And that was so dope. Again, probably one of the best ways that you could have ended that that trailer, because it was so action packed. There was so much in that trailer. I'm gonna say that for me, I would give that trailer a 10 out of 10.
I would say the same. I think they gave us much more than we were expecting.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 because I have faith in Filoni and Favreau. I have faith that this is not all the people that we are going to see. Like, we are going to get like this bunch of other characters that we'll be able to enjoy, and we haven't seen all of the good stuff yet.
Right.
There has to be.
And past trailers have proven that they don't show
everything. Yeah.
So like this could possibly be just maybe the first
half of
two
the season.
episodes,
right.
You know?
Well, and that's the cool thing is we know that, okay, we'll watch to a certain point and then we'll be like, okay, we've literally seen every scene that we've seen from the trailer. So now from this point forward, we're in that unknown territory. Like, where can they go? So if they cram 4 episodes into this trailer, man, this series is going to be amazing, I think.
And you know, knowing them, right? They always save the best for the very last.
Yeah,
like season
the last
1,
2.
the reveal was Grogu. Season 2 was Luke, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know something's coming.
Yeah, I mean, well, Book of Boba Fett was the Rancor.
The
Rancor baby.
And then Luke again.
Oh yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's right. Luke and Ahsoka, right? They went to that whatever
Ahsoka
planet.
too, yeah.
So again, you guys, March 1st is going to be the time in which the Mandalorian drops. I am very much looking forward to it. Again, and Doc Ray, I had said, Doc Ray agrees. She's giving it a 10 out of 10. If you guys have any differences to our 10 out of 10, please let us know. But especially if you agree, let us know as well. March 1st. In the meantime, you guys can crunch on the Bad Batch. And again, I have my Andor, and I was going to use that for this episode for you, Doc Ray, but I'm not going to. We're going to save it for next episode. And I'll give you my grading and my finale and everything like that for Andor. But how's this, guys? We are at, again, from the heart of Hawaii, our guy Ken always is such a great supporter of the show and a huge fan of Star Wars, because he's seen everything all the time except for this one time. He didn't watch the trailer for The Mandalorian Season 3. It's okay, he's busy, he's a shop owner. But he did say that, I don't know, who you got on your side, B? You got anybody over there?
Not anymore.
So I pulled this guy because it was the most Mandalorian relevant. And also, Valentine's Day is coming up. Does anybody have this? Now, anybody that's on, do you guys have that? And if you don't, do you want it? Because I would say this, Bronson, let's come up with a question. And I will leave it to you, B. You will be the person who gets to figure out how to give it. What's the question that they can answer? Doc Ray, you're on, and I will ship it out if we need to.
giving me though.
Yeah.
Challenging task.
Give us a
question?
Mandalorian question. You know, and it can, as a matter of fact, it can be from something we just talked about if you want.
Oh man. I don't know. I don't. Okay. What was that name of that ship that you mentioned that he was flying when he was getting chased by TIE
Okay,
fighters?
okay. So Bronson is saying if you would like to win this guy right here, the Luke Skywalker Valentine's
to see who
Day.
was really listening.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I wasn't. I forgot it already.
That's great. So you don't have to admit that, Jesus. But if you want to win this right now, just go ahead and type in the name of the ship that I said that Din Djarin was flying as he was escaping the TIE interceptors in this preview for the Mandalorian. Or you may not even know it, or you may not have even listened to it. But the question is, if you want to win this, so you can show them. If you want to win this,
some might not know it because they're just tuning in.
go ahead and tell us the name of the ship that Din Djarin was flying. And I said it on the show that Din Djarin was flying in the trailer, and it will be yours. You have 30 seconds. What do we say? What we give? 45 seconds.
45 seconds. So.
Okay, hold on. Let me get the timer going.
I don't think people can Google it either. Cause
Yeah,
it
no.
Was
No, you can. I mean, you kind of can, but anyway. Oh no, I put 45 minutes. Hold on. See, you guys have so much more time now because I'm messing up. It was not the N1 Naboo starfighter. That was what Bronson said. That's so funny. See, Doc, you should have tuned in, or actually, probably my fault.
People are like looking at the trailer and
Uh-huh.
like, okay, gotta find that.
No, it was not the N1 Naboo starfighter, but I did give you the name of it. The Mandalorian N1 starfighter. Very close. Very close. Hold on. There is one word that is missing from that, though, Gavin. I will say that Mandalorian and starfighter is in there, but it is one word in the middle that is just missing. I got you, man. You got 20 seconds. We have got 20 seconds. I love the fact that we got you guys. Go ahead. I missed that part of the show, Doc Ray. Come on. You can figure out.
So Gavin's close.
Yeah, he's super close. I'm going on to 4, 3, 2. All right. That was the timer. Okay. I don't know, B. I feel like Gavin was pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That seems.
Gavin, we will say that you won it, all right? Because, here it is. This is yours. You get the Luke Skywalker and Grogu Valentine's Day set. And look who just jumped on. Evan, our guy Evan, our brother Evan. I know, I'm sorry, Doc Ray. But Gav, so this will be down here for you. Just make sure you come down to From the Heart Hawaii. Let Ken know that you won this one, and it'll be in the back for you, all right? But just to remind everybody, the name of the ship was the Mandalorian Gauntlet Starfighter. It was not the Mandalorian N1. Mandalorian Gauntlet Starfighter.
Close enough.
Yeah, so it was actually really close. It was 2 out of 3 names, and it was Mandalorian and Starfighter. So this is yours, Gav. You can either you can come down here or send Kavai, whatever. But this will be yours. It'll be here at the shop waiting for you. Congratulations. Yes. And Happy New Year, you guys. All right, so do expect to see the show on regularly. I feel bad saying that because I've been saying that, and it has not been on regularly. But I will do what I did yesterday and make sure that I try and give you at least 24 hours notice. Expect it to be either on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. More than likely a Wednesday, because if we come into the shop, Wednesday's a good day to come. I feel like that's a good enough reason.
In the morning.
Yeah, if Bronson's not working in the morning, he will be here. But you guys don't forget that The Mandalorian Season 3 starts March 1st, all right? So make sure that you guys catch up to that. B, anything that they should know? So if I can give you a cool, show to watch, I'm going to say Midsummer's Night Dream by Shakespeare. It's the one with Kevin Kline, though, so watch that one because it's very entertaining. Might be a little slow in parts, but make sure you check that out if you like that kind of stuff. You got a movie suggestion that they got?
Not yet, but I am interested in watching that show that came out. What is it? It's based off of a PlayStation game. On HBO.
Not The Walking Dead, but the
No,
one that
it's
looks like The Walking Dead, right?
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. Yes,
It's
yes.
pretty good, I
Actually,
heard.
that's the one with Din Djarin. What's his name?
right?
Yeah. What's his
Yeah,
name? Pedro
Pedro,
Pascal.
yeah.
Yeah. So he's talking about the one with Pedro Pascal. But yes, of course, you're very welcome. Nice Valentine's gift for wifey. Oh, and her birthday coming up. Yeah. So okay, this will be down here for you, brother. I'll make sure that we put a post-it note for you. And other than that, you guys can catch Bronson at.
You can catch me at my hobby page here, @NoSnarp_toybox.
All right, and you can catch us, of course, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter at Murphy Street 808. That is PHYSTREET808. Don't forget to check out Ken here at From the Heart Hawaii at the City Square Shopping Center. You can also catch him at From the Heart Hawaii on Instagram as well. Other than that, you guys, it has been a great show. It's going slightly over. Like we did 35. Like we normally go a lot longer, so I think we did good today, right?
There's a lot to catch up on.
No, it was.
We haven't seen
It was.
each other for how long?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Our first show of the year.
Exactly. So this is the first show of the year. We thank you all for joining us. We hope that we see you guys next week when I tell you it'll be on. And again, next week we'll talk about my Andor conclusion. I know it's a little late, but it's coming, I promise. And then also the Bad Batch. I'll catch you up on episodes 1 through 3, I think is out right now. So it'll probably be 1 through 4 at that point in time. I'll make it fit into the 30 minutes, you guys. We won't go very much longer. Other than that, Doc Ray, Gav, Ali, and whoever else is on, we appreciate you guys for coming by. And we'll see everybody next time, right, B?
Till next time, yeah.
All right, so until next time, you know how it goes. Don't forget your slippers. Aloha. Bye, you guys.
There's a nightclub next door.
All right.
Yeah?